After Xiao Yan threw Yao Lao's ring to Feng Zun Zhe was immediately shocked when he saw his friend's ring. Feng Zun Zhe immediately took action and stopped Fei Tian, who was about to attack Xiao Yan. Feng Zun Zhe's expression turned serious, and said that no one was allowed to touch Xiao Yan. Seeing this, Mu Qingwan did not expect that his teacher Feng Zun Zhe would go that far to help Xiao Yan, even not minding offending the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Mu Qingwan was curious about Xiao Yan's teacher, who could make his teacher Feng Zun Zhe go that far. On the other hand, Lei Zunzhe, who saw Feng Zun Zhe's actions, he asked in a slightly angry voice, what was the meaning of Feng Zun Zhe's actions? Meanwhile, Jian Zunzhe, who did not expect Feng Zun Zhe to step forward, Jian Zunzhe suggested that they discuss their problems calmly. While Huang Quan Zunzhe by his side did not say anything, and enjoyed the situation. Then Feng Zun glanced at Xiao Yan and asked what Xiao Yan's relationship with Yao Lao was. Xiao Yan also said that his relationship with Yao Lao was that of a student and teacher. Hearing that, Feng Zun looked happy. However, Feng Zun asked for proof that Xiao Yan was really Yao Lao's student. Xiao Yan smiled and immediately showed the bone-chilling flame heavenly fire on his forehead. Feng Zun was immediately shocked when he saw the familiar white flame, and he realized about the transfer of heavenly fire. In other words, Yao Lao voluntarily kept the fire in Xiao Yan's body, and there was no doubt that Xiao Yan was his disciple. Feng Zun muttered that it had been very difficult for him to find Yao Lao. Then Feng Zun said that he would not tell his relationship with Yao Lao in detail. However, because Xiao Yan was Yao Lao's student, Feng Zun said that Xiao Yan could consider Feng Zun as his teacher too. Hearing that, Xiao Yan nodded. Then Feng Zun said that he would be the one to solve Xiao Yan's problem with the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Feng Zun glanced at Lei Zunzhe and said that he could ignore all the problems, but he would not let the Wind Lightning Pavilion touch Xiao Yan. Hearing that, Lei Zunzhe explained that it was a matter between his Wind Lightning Pavilion and Xiao Yan. If Feng Zun intervened, then the relationship between their Wind Lightning Pavilion and Falling Star Pavilion would be bad. However, Feng Zun said that if Lei Zunzhe was unwilling to let Xiao Yan go, and something happened to Xiao Yan, Feng Zun would take action, and it didn't matter if his Falling Star Pavilion had to go to war with the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Hearing this, Lei Zunzhe was shocked and did not expect that Feng Zun would go that far to protect Xiao Yan. Lei Zunzhe was also curious about Xiao Yan's relationship with Feng Zun. Then Lei Zunzhe explained that he could not just let Xiao Yan go, because Xiao Yan had secretly learned the 3000 lightning steps and had obtained the 3000 lightning illusion body training method. Hearing this, Xiao Yan said that he found his 3000 lightning steps technique outside the Central Plains. That did not include Xiao Yan stealing it and secretly learning it. As for the 3000 lightning illusion body technique that Xiao Yan had obtained from the Elder of the Northern Wind Lightning Pavilion, it had been taken back by Fei Tian. Hearing this, Lei Zunzhe did not dare to deny Xiao Yan's words. Then Lei Zunzhe suggested that the matter be resolved privately between Xiao Yan and Fei Tian. Therefore, Feng Zun and Lei Zunzhe should not interfere. Regardless of who wins, the matter will be over and we'll forget about the matter. Hearing this, Feng Zun objected because the difference in strength between Xiao Yan and Fei Tian was too great. On the other hand, Jian Zunzhe also proposed to resolve the issue with the younger generation, and make Feng Qing'er from the younger generation replace Fei Tian against Xiao Yan. Because according to Jian Zunzhe, Feng Qing'er was also not an ordinary person. Hearing this proposal, Lei Zunzhe agreed. Then he said that if Xiao Yan lost, Xiao Yan had to promise not to use the 3000 lightning steps again in the future. And if Feng Qing'er lost, the grudge between Xiao Yan and the Wind Lightning Pavilion would be over. Lei Zunzhe also said, when the fight took place, Xiao Yan had to use his own strength and could not use other people's spiritual power. Hearing this, Feng Zun hesitated a little. He realized that Feng Qing'er was not an ordinary person. Even Feng Zun realized that his disciple Mu Qingwan was not his match. On the other hand, Feng Qing'er, who was in the VIP seat, immediately entered the arena and asked if Xiao Yan dared to accept the challenge. Hearing this, Xiao Yan glanced at Feng Zun and smiled. Then Xiao Yan accepted the challenge. Hearing this, Feng Zun Zhe was surprised to see that Xiao Yan did not show any signs of being afraid, and he was even more impressed with Xiao Yan. Meanwhile, Feng Zun Zhe was not sure who would win between the two of them. With his eyesight, Feng Zun Zhe realized that Feng Zun was very strong. Although Xiao Yan had now advanced to the dozong level, Feng Zun Zhe was still not sure who would win. Feng Zun Zhe had also heard some rumors about Xiao Yan, but he also heard that Xiao Yan was helped by a powerful soul in his body. Then Feng Zun Zhe observed Xiao Yan's body, and vaguely felt a powerful spiritual body. However, he was disappointed because the spiritual ripple did not belong to Yao Lao. Feng Zun Zhe also warned Xiao Yan to be careful, because he thought that Feng Zun had also broken through to the dozong level, after soaking in the blood pool. Even her strength had far exceeded that of an ordinary dozong. Hearing that, Xiao Yan nodded. Then Xiao Yan took out his beam sword. Now that his identity had been revealed, Xiao Yan could freely use his beam sword. Now Xiao Yan and Feng Zun were in the arena. Rumor has it that Feng Zun had fought with the elder of the Wind Lightning Pavilion who had reached the 2-star dozong, and the result was a draw. At that time, Feng Zun's strength was still at the Do Huan class, and could face a 2-star dozong. While now Feng Zun's strength has broken through to the dozong level. It is certain that Feng Zun's strength is very strong. Meanwhile, Fei Tian, who had returned to the VIP seat, he was still upset because Xiao Yan was helped by Feng Zun Zhe. Lei Zun Zhe beside him said not to worry, because Feng Zun had replaced him and helped Fei Tian avoid a bad reputation. Hearing that, Fei Tian said that he still couldn't accept letting Xiao Yan go just like that, because Xiao Yan had killed Elder Qin Yun. Lei Zun Zhe also said that if fighting with the Falling Star Pavilion could benefit his Wind Lightning Pavilion, Lei Zun Zhe would not let Xiao Yan go either. However, Lei Zun Zhe realized that Feng Zun Zhe was stronger than him, and it would only be detrimental to him if he started a war with the Falling Star Pavilion. Hearing that, Fei Tian was speechless. Lei Zun Zhe also said that he had told Feng Zun not to hold back when fighting Xiao Yan, and he was very confident that Feng Zun could defeat Xiao Yan. Because Lei Zun Zhe had forbidden Xiao Yan from using the help of the power of the spiritual body. On the other hand, Feng Zun looked at Xiao Yan in front of her, and said that Xiao Yan could only act arrogantly because he relied on the help of the spiritual body. But this time, Xiao Yan couldn't use it, and without the help of Xiao Yan's spiritual body power, he was nothing. Hearing that, Xiao Yan said that Feng Zun talked a lot, and said that Feng Zun could also be arrogant because of the reputation of her Wind Lightning Pavilion. Hearing that, Feng Zun was very angry, and suddenly a very strong aura surged out of her body. Shortly after, Feng Zun launched her attack. Then the colorful cloth quickly shot towards Xiao Yan. However, Xiao Yan could easily avoid the attack with his 3,000 lightning steps. Meanwhile, the colorful cloth continued to follow Xiao Yan every time Xiao Yan avoided it. Then Feng Zun launched her attack again, and the colorful cloth rained down on Xiao Yan from all directions. Seeing that, Xiao Yan used a new technique from his beam sword, namely the master of the 6 combined body flow, to withstand Feng Zun's attack. The colorful cloth continued to hit Xiao Yan without stopping, but Xiao Yan was still able to withstand the attack. Shortly after, the colorful cloth formed a very large phoenix. Feng Zun dripped blood on the phoenix bird. Then Feng Zun used the wind-killing finger technique to attack Xiao Yan.